times. Queer times. Queer times.
Kristen.
Hey, Kristen, how's it going?
It's going great, Harrison. How are you?
I'm really good. This episode's really exciting. It's our 20th episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, we've really committed.
Yeah. If you're just joining us or if you've been here for a long time and you're really enjoying what we do, we'd love it if you would share,
Like, subscribe,
rate, review, subscribe.
tell your friends,
Yeah, tell a friend.
and then go binge all the rest.
Yeah.
They're a little timely, but not like there's some bigger, deeper thoughts that happen,
Yeah.
you know?
Even just a share on Instagram is really helpful to us. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, everything. Do all the things.
Queer Times Pod.
You had a really fun weekend.
I did. It was birthday beach camp weekend.
Birthday beach
weekend.
camp. Happy birthday, Kristen.
Thank you very much. We do the thing we do every year. Well, not every year. We've done it for 2 years, and now I'm like, every year.
Every year.
KT, my lovely girlfriend, and I love to go over sand. If you're not familiar, the Cape Cod National Seashore makes up a large part of the Outer Cape, and there's about 40,000 acres of protected area, and also what's known as an over sand route, where you can drive right along the beach, and you can have bonfires there. And so we always head out at about 10, 11 a.m. and spend the afternoon at the beach and swim and grill, bring all the things, forage for wood. Our friend Brooke came, foraged for wood, build tents. Very survivalist situation. Except with a Yeti and
a Bluetooth speaker.
And it's like, it's clamping.
Yeah.
And then we have a bonfire. Yeah, we were out there for a good 12 hours, if not more. I was there for like 14 hours.
Amazing. I joined for like 3 hours. It was fantastic.
Thank you for coming
Oh my God, it was
hiking
awesome.
all the way out. And now you understand what Birthday Beach Camp is really about.
Yeah, it's really cute.
It's kind of hard to explain to people, but we always end up with like 10 or 12 of the best people.
Yeah.
It
was vibier than I thought it was going to be.
No, it's a real vibe.
Yeah.
No, you gotta be into the vibe.
It was chill.
And I love that it's at the end of summer here in P-Town, my birthday. And so we get to always kind of have people come who are kind of fried. And we're like, no, just sit down. We're grilling meats and vegetables. And there's a charcuterie and a beach plum compote.
Yeah, Kate did a really fantastic job with the food. It was delicious.
She always slays. Last year she did like street tacos. This year she was like, we're grilling meats and kebabs and the whole shebang.
Perfect.
She's the best. We love her. I also got into a little trouble on the TikTok.
Why?
I spoke
as a woman,
as a lady with an opinion. Remember a couple episodes ago, I was like, I don't know about marriage. Like, what was just civil unions? Well, people are now like, you don't understand that marriage has always been never about religion. It actually started about land. And then I was like, yeah, but like,
exactly.
Do we want that? We're fighting for that patriarchal history. Maybe we should just start over. And they're like, why should we have to start over? And I'm like, well, because it was shit. Somebody was like, it has not always been about religion. Marriage, that didn't even start until the 8th century. And I'm like, bitch, that was far long enough ago that we can move on to
it was also before it was about like property and ownership of people.
And how you could make sure that your daughter got handed to the man you wanted her to get handed to. Like, it's fucked.
It's like, it's based in patriarchy. It's based in religion. It's based in property and government. And should it be all those things?
Should it be all those things? And should we, as the queer community, who I think should pride ourselves on our ability to evolve and the fluid nature of our existence, be concerned about whether we change the name of marriage? Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Right.
Half of our movement is about changing names.
I do think it's tough when you're doing a podcast and then clipping it for TikTok, because you want to get the whole vibe in, but sometimes it's challenging. And I know a lot of people were very not into separate but equal the first time around with marriage equality. Yeah. And I feel like that's what people are thinking you're saying.
Is separate but equal?
It's not.
No, I'm just saying I don't need anyone's religion involved in this.
Yeah.
And religious reasons are the only reasons to not allow homosexual marriage. No one is ever saying, I don't want to allow homosexual marriage because of my tax rights.
Right.
Like, the only reason people say it shouldn't happen is religion. So on that note, I'm going to say, let's keep religion out of it again.
Yeah. Speaking of being fluid.
No.
Have you heard about the Betty Who drama?
But I have heard about the Betty Who drama. I have not heard enough about the Betty Who drama to know who Betty Who is.
Yeah, you're like, Betty Who?
Exactly. No, there's a question mark. Does she sing a song?
Like, do you know there's always like pop girls that are a little underground that like a group of gay people, gay men, attach themselves to.
Sure. Tovlo.
Yeah, Tovlo, Charlie XCX.
Okay. Did you? That was a pretty
Yeah,
good pull
you got
for
it.
me,
You got
don't
it.
you think? All right, yeah. It's because I have a hot young.
I know
girlfriend.
Betty Who because she was very much that in like the early 2010s. And
Oh yeah, no, I
these-
was deep in alcohol at that point.
You gotcha. But the specific group that attached themselves to her like she was this icon, I didn't care for, so I never I don't
Turns out her name's not even Betty. Can we start there?
Yeah.
Her name is Jessica. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
The one song I know she covered I Love You Always Forever Near or Far. You know that song, right?
I do know that song,
Yeah.
but that's not her original.
Yeah,
She covered
Donna
it.
Lewis, I think is the
Yeah, and I
original.
think I do know that song.
And also like
okay.
why cover that song? It was perfect to begin with, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So Betty Who is a pop artist who's been performing for about the last 10 to 15 years, and she has made her queer identity a large part in the promotion of herself and her music, which is great and fine. That wasn't a read at all. But for the past 7 years, I want to say, she has been married to a man.
Mm-hmm.
And she went on a podcast recently. I understand where she's coming from, but like it's one of those things where it's like she literally said it's crazy that being straight feels illegal. I'm just like, mama.
Is she identifying as straight? Is my first question.
No. She's always identified as bisexual, and marrying a man is like, okay, that's what being bisexual is.
Exactly. She remarked that it felt a crime to be in a straight presenting relationship as a queer woman and suggested that lesbianism is a phase that could end.
Yeah. She basically said that she would hold space for someone like Renee Rapp, named her, who recently said that she's lesbian and would never be with a man after identifying as bisexual for quite some time. She says that she was leaving space for her to maybe find a man in her life in the future.
I wish that we could look at this more about the fluidity of sexuality. I just feel like if we got out of this idea that like you're this stagnant thing, we would have less of this. Because what she is implying is that she's, number one, never going to be attracted to a woman again, I guess, is what she's saying. Or I don't know. Or that Renee Rapp could end up dating a man and then also go back to dating a woman again. Or, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird. I think that, to my knowledge, Renee Rapp does not identify as a bisexual or a pansexual. I believe that Renee Rapp identifies as a lesbian.
Yes.
I believe Renee Rapp knows exactly what that means, as opposed to like JoJo Siwa, who really had no idea what that meant, right? I just wish we would be more in tune to the fluidity of it all. As someone who has dated many women who are now married to men, I think it's weird that we care how much. However, I do think there is a huge responsibility. If you are a femme-presenting queer woman in a relationship with a man and you are like straight presenting, know that you are privileged.
Right.
That is a privilege in this society.
So it's not a crime.
It's not a crime. It's a privilege, and I hope that instead of making yourself the victim, you would recognize that you're in a position of power because you're a celebrity and that you could have better discussions. But then the other thing is, how smart do we expect our pop stars to be?
Truly.
I mean, there's also this thing where like, oh my God, Betty Who said this. Who the fuck is Betty Who, number one? And number two, why do we listen when she pontificates about a queer relationship when she's been literally sucking dick for 7 years?
I feel like nothing Betty Who has done is bad. She's a bisexual woman who is now in a straight presenting relationship, which that happens. You can be a bi person who ends up in a straight presenting relationship. I think the problem is that she allows herself to be fluid in that, but then denies other people's fluidity or denies them knowing themselves when it comes to how she spoke of Renee Rapp. And it also kind of reinforces a harmful stereotype that like men suck one dick and they're gay forever.
Yeah.
Where women, it's kind of an opposite but equal problem where it's like lesbians are never believed.
Correct.
Bisexual women are never believed to.
Not if they're feminine.
Right.
Specifically, a very specific type of woman is not believed.
Right. And this
I promise you people believe me.
But this idea that perpetuated that a lesbian or a bi woman is like, oh, it's a phase until she's converted by the right man. is very problematic and also like leads to a lot of harm within the community and can also lead to violence.
You know, it's funny when you said that. I actually, having just said that, I had a guy on a Dune tour last week.
Mhm.
I run a Dune tour company here in Provincetown, and he was German and drunk. And at one point, I almost kicked him. I almost was like, "This is why I own a business. Get the fuck out of my car."
The best part of owning a business.
He said something to the effect of like, how he would be able to make me straight. And number one, I was like, that is confidence. Like, it is one thing. I'm way over here. Like, you
Right.
better come with money.
Literally.
But anyway, sorry. As I was just saying that, I was like, no one would ever. And actually, someone did just say that to me, and I was shocked.
That's crazy.
It does not happen to me very often.
Nothing will ever top the audacity of straight men.
I'll top them. Hey! She did apologize, and she said, I understand there is so much nuance in this conversation and in other people's lived experiences that my comments did not reflect. I also recognize that I'm coming from a place of privilege, and I never meant to contribute to prejudice against the community. Honestly, accepted.
Yeah.
I accept that. That's the LGBTQ plus community is my home. It's where I came alive, found my people, and learned more about love, acceptance, and tolerance on a deeper human level. I will do better. What kind of guy is he, though?
I don't know. But this is kind of where I draw where I'm confused. She speaks of the LGBTQ plus community. And I feel like if she were actually a part of a real queer community, no one would care had this happened. But the community she speaks of is the online community, which is not real. I know we're speaking from a place of privilege as well, living in Provincetown.
Of course.
But Provincetown truly is a queer community. And if she was a bisexual woman, which we know
Plenty
of bisexual women in our queer community, if she were a bisexual woman in Provincetown and then started dating a guy we know or a guy in the community, we would never be like, oh, you're not queer anymore.
Correct.
We would still view that as a queer relationship and her as a queer person. But that's because this truly is a queer community. But the queer community she talks about is like this online comment bullshit.
I mean, it is possible that she has a queer community. And that's what, when I was like,
I don't think she does.
Well, that's my question is if she throws a party at her house, how many queer people are going to be there? And I don't just mean hair and makeup.
Right.
Like what does your day-to-day life look like now?
Yeah.
And is it your husband's straight friends?
Yeah.
Or
did
like
you have
his wife's? Or like who are your people around you?
Yeah. Did you abandon all of your lesbian friends, all of your gay friends, all of your bi friends to exist in this heteronormative world? Because
Unless you're on tour and the gays are in the audience.
Yeah, unless they're buying that probably $40 ticket.
You think it's 40?
Not to drag her, but
okay, so who's Betty Who? We don't care. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding.
Anyway,
like, why are we talking more about Betty Who than we are that Lil Nas X went to jail? Right? Like why do we care more about this privileged woman who made a dumb statement and not on the fact that they took Lil Nas X to jail for being in his underwear? And it's so racist.
I agree. I think it's one of those things. I understand he was in LA, but like I've biked home in a jockstrap plenty of times, a little drunk.
Yeah.
I guess you could have grabbed me on multiple occasions and been like, he's drunk and on drugs and in his underwear. Like there's about 200 guys on Commercial Street right now that are drunk and on drugs and in their underwear. But I think, so this stems from racism. It stems from like the plight of fame to a degree.
I mean, I definitely think it is fame-based, but I don't know. I just feel like it's the latent racism that exists in most police officers who walked up to this situation and probably didn't know who it was. It's frustrating to me that it doesn't feel like it's still being talked about in any way. And I think like he was in jail for, he was in jail for 4 days, which is kind of fucking a lot.
Oh, yeah.
3 counts of battery on a police officer. How can you be in the process of having a mental breakdown and still get charged with battery on a police officer when the only person you send to tend to these people are police, like sick, unwell, mentally unwell people are police officers? So what else do we want to talk about this week, Harrison?
Oh my God, did you hear about the rumor?
Weekend at Donnie's?
Yeah. So there was a hashtag that went viral over the weekend. It was hashtag Trump is dead on social media platforms. And it was basically due to Trump's recent visible health issues, as well as him being missing from the places where you can notably find him, Truth
The golf
Social,
course.
the golf course, exactly. People started to conspire that he may have passed over the weekend. Unfortunately, since then, there's been a couple images of him out and about. He's also posted on Truth Social that he's never felt better in his life, which is a bummer.
It is a bummer. I think I'm excited to have had this first little like, is it now?
Yeah.
Because now I've been able to really think about it a lot and what it will mean to me. You know, I noticed that he had there's the bruising on the hands too, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
isn't that like a whole? Because somebody's like, oh, before the Queen died, or was it Margaret Thatcher or the Queen or somebody?
It
They're
was
like,
the Queen.
the Queen had those, like they did a side by side of their two hands.
The hand bruising.
Yeah, which to me just looks like somebody blew a vein putting in an IV, right? Which tells me that somebody had an IV.
Yeah, but basically it was revealed that in July that he was diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency, which is basically where your veins aren't strong enough to return blood to your heart. So a lot of times your limbs, your feet, your hands will either swell, be uncomfortable, or pool blood, which is what we're guessing we were seeing when you see him and the Queen's hands. It's one of those things that when this starts to happen that bad, it's a sign of the end. The sign that it's getting closer to the end.
I think that when your veins are like deuces, I'm out. Like
Right.
that's not a good sign.
Yeah, the best part was that the White House attributed it to frequent shaking and daily aspirin use.
But daily aspirin use
Is to prevent
clots and to make sure that your blood is thin enough. So he's teetering on the line of his blood being thin enough that he can make it, that his heart can pump it through his body.
Yeah, his body wants out.
And it being too thin that it's just going to give up.
Yeah, but there's also been even more conspiracy theories, like the pictures that have come out that have shown him alive on the golf course. Like people are saying that they don't even believe those.
I am just happy that the conspiracies are finally getting directed at him. Like I feel like he's been riding this wave of conspiracy theorists about everyone else to the White House, literally, because it does make me feel a little better that like people are just like that he's not on such a pedestal that they won't like come for him, right?
Yeah.
Like first it was Epstein, but now it's also like, oh, are you part of the deep state? Are you actually sicker than you're telling us? Are you like, what's going on? My fear is that when he passes, it will be a religious moment to people that he has put in authority, like Pete Hegseth, who like believes he's the second coming and he's here to save our nation.
I think people really believe that.
Yeah. No, people really believe that.
I think people might. I don't know if I think the people on the inside of it know that that's not real, right?
No, I think you underestimate how serious religion is playing into this.
Crazy.
When you look at how somebody like this, with all of the divorces and all of the like, my daughter's so hot, I'd probably date her. When you look at grab him by the pussy. When you look at all these things that should make a normal, moral man, Christian man, be repulsed, and you see them embracing it, it's because they believe that the Lord will send them a flawed man that they will have to love in spite of those flaws and get behind. And if they do, he will bring them to the promised land. That's what evangelicals believe. That's how we got here right now. And guess what? He got rid of abortion. Their belief has been solidified through this taking over of the Supreme Court, through things like RBG dying. We were all like, and they're like, that's the Lord at work. Like, I don't think people really understand. You'll see a photo of people like, this is Iran in 1960s. That's what's coming. Women already don't have the rights to their bodies.
Right.
The Supreme Court is stacked with ideological fucking religious people. The guy that resigned from the CDC, hold on, let me find this quote. Dmitry Daskalakis, he was the head of the CDC. He resigned, and his quote was, based on what I'm seeing, based on what I've heard with the new members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, or ACIP, They're really moving in an ideological direction where they want to see the undoing of vaccination. They do want to see the undoing of the mRNA vaccination. I have been ready to do this when I felt I hit the line. I didn't think that we were going to be able to present sciences in a way free of ideology, that the firewall between science and ideology is completely broken down.
Oof.
No, he's literally like, I can't be here anymore because if you disagree with the ideology, you get fired. And
Right.
science doesn't always agree with ideology. And he's saying they're taking ideology over science.
There's also a lot of people as people are coming out in celebration of this happening. There's a lot of people kind of lamenting the fact that people are celebrating and saying it's like rude. And I just want to say, like, I feel like that takes responsibility off them. If you are a human being in the world and you don't want people to celebrate when you die, act in accordance.
Be a better person.
Yeah. Don't be that person. When that much power is wrapped up in one person and they pass, it does leave a lot of questions as what happens after.
Who's in charge?
Who is in charge? And I think one thing I will give Trump of like something that he was definitely able to accomplish, that he was set out to accomplish, was he really did galvanize the right, the Republican Party. He got people in line. There's plenty of people on the Republican side, especially these lifelong politicians that do not believe in what Trump is saying or what he is set out to do, but he's made it apparent that you can't disagree with him. And I think once he passes, that all goes away. And then you're left with this group of people, J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That are going to try to grab at this power. And I think, and historically this has precedent, that it will all fall apart.
All right, I'll get behind that.
I hope that happens.
I hope that those fighting against an autocracy, I hope we're developing a game plan for those moments
Mhm.
and that we're going to outsmart people, because I think we're playing a lot of catch up and not a lot of creative problem solving at the forefront of things. And I think we
Mhm.
need to be a little bit more like, what happens that day?
Yeah.
What's being said? Who's saying it?
And it's also like, as much as like, yes, I want it to fall apart and for all of it not to work out, but at the same time, it's not that like, oh, everyone gets mad at each other and then Kamala's president. It is going to be the rest of this, at the minimum, the rest of this presidential term in chaos.
The odds of him lasting a whole term are pretty slim.
Oh, yeah. And if he passes, the first person it goes to is J.D. Vance, who's a disaster.
Did you hear that they revoked Kamala Harris's Secret Service detail?
I did hear that.
And did you have any thoughts about that?
Once I read into it, it didn't sound as crazy as that.
That's what I was
headline
wondering.
Sounded.
That's what I was wondering.
Basically, there typically is a Secret Service detail for someone for 6 months after their term.
And so the 6 months was up.
Basically, Joe Biden put in place that it would last longer than that,
Okay.
knowing what was going to happen. And Trump undid that. Like, she got her 6 months. She'll get her 6 months and then it'll be over. There's no extension, which feels nefarious and targeted, obviously, but it's not as crazy as that initial shock felt.
Given the white supremacist leaning following of the right,
Leaning? Yeah.
should that be a factor? I mean, obviously, they're not going to do DEI here, but
I do think that is why Biden probably put the extension in place. And I also think that is why Donald Trump removed that extension while making every single person know about it.
this is Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. Quote, "This is another act of revenge following a long list of political retaliation in the form of firings, the revoking of security clearances, and more. This puts the former vice president in danger, and I look forward to working with the governor to make sure Vice President Harris is safe in Los Angeles." And this is the kind of stuff where, like, it's not. It's just they took away the thing by, like,
Yeah.
she's getting what everybody else got. They took away the extra. Stop saying shit like this.
Mhm.
Stop saying it. Like, is he being a dick? Yes. 100%. Is it another act of revenge? I mean, I guess so, but maybe it's just another act of, no, that spending we're not going to have because you lost.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just feel like it's a little bit whiny.
Yeah, but I mean, I always assume the worst with people like Trump because it always seems to be the worst.
I think that we have to pick our battles.
Oh, yeah.
And in this case, we didn't have to talk about it.
Mhm.
Just like you said. It could have just been something that happened and no one would have ever thought about it.
Here's a question. Do you think Donald Trump will be dead by Wednesday when this airs?
No. I think he'll be dead by November 23rd.
Okay, work. Is that what you put your bet on?
I will now.
Okay, perfect.
November 23rd is Katie's birthday.
Okay.
And
Nice little birthday
I want to
present
get
for
her something
Katie.
really nice.
Yeah.
Amen for Cardi B. Have you been paying attention?
I have been following the memes of it all.
I just really appreciate that Cardi B is Cardi Bing
Mhm.
herself. You know what I mean? Like, she's just like, listen, this bitch is trying to take money from me. I was, number one, don't be taking pictures of people who are at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Number two,
Was she an employee?
she was a security guard at the complex of this hospital. So not for the hospital, but someone working at the hospital and
Yeah.
somebody who should immediately be fired for that. Number one. Number two, I appreciate that Cardi B is like, listen, you started this. You're trying to extort me for money and I'm not going to have it. And I will show up to court and I will not settle you. Even though Cardi B could settle this like that, and this could be over, I'm really here for her showing up in court and going through the motion to say, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving
I
you
also love
money.
that she's Cardi B on the stand. Like,
100%.
she's not. I mean, it's also crazy. Like, here is a pregnant woman headed to her obstetrician's office, and it's even crazier that this person is a security guard. But like taking pictures and video of a pregnant woman on the way to a medical appointment, it also like brings up conversations that should have happened years ago about like privacy.
No, there's
It's
absolutely
crazy.
there's no way that the security guard at a hospital should be taking video of people coming in and out of that hospital.
Right.
We could talk later about how there shouldn't even be a security guard at a hospital like that. But anyway, what I really like is that they're like, do you remember what you said? And Cardi B was like, I said, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Why are you in my face? Why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security? Right? And then the lawyer was like, they asked her to repeat the words to Ellis. And she was like, you want me to say it to her face? Which like is so Cardi B.
There was one where someone was like, you called her fat. Why did you do that? And they were like, do you think she's fat? And she was like,
I also don't understand just the way that like the lawyer's like, you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one's your real hair? Or are they both real? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why are you talking about her appearance?
The
like,
lawyer wanted to make her feel stupid. They wanted to diminish her. They wanted to strip away the Cardi B personality from it all, thinking they could do that. But I don't think you can, because I don't think it's not put on with her.
No, it's 100% real.
Mhm.
She did exactly what she should have done in that moment. No one is considering what happens hormonally to a woman while she's pregnant and making a person inside her belly.
Right.
Number one, you get a little bit more grace, number one, even if you're not a celebrity.
Mhm.
And if someone's filming you without your consent and you're in a vulnerable moment, you're going to want to protect it. And science has proven that mama bear come out.
Yeah. And also, why would this, I imagine, high-end medical office have a security guard if not to prevent things like this from happening? Well, you're definitely not supposed to create the problem.
You're not supposed to create the problem. And just because you have a shirt on that says security, I don't think we should all automatically assume that this is a fucking Eagle Scout.
Right.
With noble intentions to save the day.
Right.
It's somebody who got a job and that job requires them sitting at a desk at a hospital or standing outside the hospital. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like as our society breaks down and we have no moral compass, these things are going to happen more and more.
Oh, totally.
And people need to stand up for themselves. And I'm glad Cardi B did. I'm glad she's not getting extorted for some money. I'm glad she's going to court about it.
Yeah.
And I hope this woman has to pay Cardi B's lawyer fees.
Yeah, and what the whole point of it is to like, oh, I'm going to sue Cardi B for $24 million and she'll probably throw me $100,000 as a settlement, and then I have $100,000.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what it is. And it's
Cardi
something
B
that
was like, no, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going to show up. And I think I would have done that too, and I respect it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
But of course.
Thank you for listening to me, Harrison.
Of course, always, anytime.
Thank you. Shout out to Chad at the Provincetown Recording Studio. Shout out to Cardi B for keeping it real, as always. Shout out to CVI coming for Trump's veins. We love that too.
Yeah. Shout out to Renee Rapp.
Shout out to
lesbian.
Shout out to Renee Rapp showing us Betty Who, the poor man's Renee Rapp.
Literally. Thanks for listening.
Love you.
Queerly.
Queer is in.